Hey guys, this is Barbara Hort of I Am This Woman, and I am super excited to be here, and it's Valentine's Day. Woo! Yes, happy Valentine's Day to you guys. So what is I Am This Woman? So I Am This Woman is something that I created because I really want to acknowledge women. I want to acknowledge what they're up to, what they're creating, what they're doing. And there are a lot of women's groups out there, but it's a lot of, let me show you what I have for you. And instead, what I wanted to do is I wanted to be able to come on and then bring somebody on and let them sit in a seat and let them tell you what's going on and what's happening. So it's Valentine's Day. And I thought, who do I bring on today, right, to talk about love and relationships and Valentine's Day and all that other mushy-gushy stuff? Well, I decided to bring on Federico Leandro. Now, this is really exciting because, you know, when I first posted this, women said, wait a minute, wait, I thought you only brought on women. Heck no. There's going to be times when a different perspective, a male's perspective, will really be supportive. And some of you might know Federico and say, wait a minute, you brought him on. Yes, Federico and I have been friends for a few years. And I thought nobody else would I like to have in the seat and have a conversation with. So let me tell you a little bit about Federico. So he's a transformational trainer. He's a CIJ trainer. He is a master practitioner of NLP, hypnosis, timeline therapy, and he's a certified coach. He's also certified in firewalking, glass walking, and board breaking. Okay, just in case if I ever want to firewalk again, I know who to call. So everybody, let's welcome Federico. I know.
Wow.
You're good?
That was a great introduction.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right.
I know, right? So it's Valentine's Day.
Yay.
Yay. And, you know, I know you love these little Smartie candies. But I couldn't find that one, but I found a Sour Patch because sometimes you're nice and sometimes you're mean.
Where's the lead show when you need it?
I thought that was perfect. But because every time he texts me, every time he sends me a message, he always puts this dang on unicorn. So I thought he had to have a little unicorn. Look at him. But we're on the show right now.
All right.
Show.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Okay, you're gonna leave him right there. Okay, awesome.
I actually got a card for you.
You did?
Yeah. I had to get a manly card, so it's a motorcycle spitting flames out.
Oh, it's Duke Kaboom.
Yeah, it's a very manly Valentine's Day card. Like, happy Valentine's Day.
Well, you can put your candy down unless you decide to eat it. No problem at all.
I
Yeah.
actually brought my own candy.
You brought your own candy. And this is what we get when we put a man on the show. He brings his own food to the show. Okay, that's great. No problem. Well, you know what's really exciting about having Federico on? This will be his first show. But he, you know, we call this show I Am This Woman. So he's going to be this man. He'll be coming on once a month, and he'll be coming on to have conversations. Anytime that there's some kind of conversations about what we think about, we want to get into that man's brain. Scary. In your brain. We're going to bring him on the show. So you're going to see a lot of Federico for sure. And we're super excited to have you here. And I'm super excited that you said yes.
Super excited.
Super excited. He's so silly. All right. So, Valentine's Day. I like that. Yeah. Oh, unicorn went flying. So this is really interesting too because I ran into Walmart to pick up some things because I'm getting ready to hit the road. And literally the shelves were like, people were going and they're grabbing things and then the flowers out on the side of the road and all of that. What do you think about Valentine's Day? This is good.
Yeah.
So now we need to have words.
Yeah, so I have a love-hate relationship with Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And this is all me, right? I'm not speaking for every man on the planet. This is
This is really important, you know.
This man.
Right, this man.
Before I get shot.
But I think that's important because I think a lot of times it'll be like, well, Federico, and what does he know about relationships? Or what does he know about this? And, you know, but I think it's important that you're saying your perspective. And this is my perspective. Here's the great part about it. like it, don't like it, agree with it, don't agree with it. That's okay. You might hear some nuggets and you might say yes, and the other ones you're like, no, that doesn't work for me. That's okay.
Right.
But I'd like
Take
to know
what works for you and discard the rest.
right, exactly. So talk to us.
So I love the promotion of love,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the creativity. I love that it gives. And I'm speaking, you know, masculine, feminine, like
sure.
hetero man, hetero woman kind of thing. I think it gives men that opportunity to be sensual and romantic and cute and things that I want to say, in my opinion, have been lost.
Right.
You know, a while ago. So you got all that. Where like, how big can I go? How extravagant? Like, do I put rose petals all over the bed, or like give her a maze, or like arrows, or is it just like, you know, here's a box of chocolate? But there's that adoration of the feminine, right? That gift to your goddess kind of thing. So that I love. What I don't like is the commercialization of it. Like what you said, you go into Walmart right now and just people are just like buying stuff. They're just
and the day of, which means to me is kind of one of those things. Now it could be it's Friday and it's payday and you just got some money in your pocket. But I noticed people were like scrambling, and I just wanted these because they reminded me of the candies that you like so much. And I happened to find the one.
I like the messages.
I do too. You know, BFF, yay, love. I love all those, right? Cool. I like cool, yeah. So it's cool, but I noticed that, and I think for me, it's interesting too, because do you wait for this one day?
Right. That's a whole other conversation.
Right.
You know, can you make the day special?
Right.
Yeah, you can. You know?
Absolutely.
But if today's the day that you get your partner flowers, man or woman, right?
Right.
Men enjoy gifts and acts of love as well. If today is the day that you are like, oh shit, I gotta do something nice for them. Right. Then it becomes like I want to say your relationship's already in trouble.
But that's good. I want you to elaborate on that. Your relationship. I mean, if this is the day.
Right. Like if you need
February 14th.
Yeah. Or instance, if you're like,
right.
Oh shit, it's a birthday. I need to get her something, him something. Oh, it's Christmas. I need to. Oh, it's it's St. Patrick's Day. I need to buy her something green.
Right.
If that's it for you,
right,
your relationship is probably in trouble. Or unless you're just both really boring people. But
oh my gosh, help me.
this is your idea.
This is totally my idea.
Right,
we might be looking for another man just in case. No, only kidding. No, you're awesome. So
you know what I'm saying? Like if and not saying that every day you gotta buy your partner chocolates and flowers, but if today's the day when you finally give them or show them that love or affection or attention, today's the date night, today's the first time you ever give them flowers, it might be like, okay, then it turns into I have to. Right. Then there's this like, I guess I have to go spend a lot of money on dinner or buy some jewelry or buy him this or buy her that. Do I get him a watch? Do I get...
Yeah. You know? Versus just, like to me, I think love is an acknowledgement of, it doesn't have to be every day, but I don't think it has to be a specific day either. Mm-hmm. And I think when you make it a specific day and when you make it based on what's on the calendar and all that, but you know me, because I'm a little geeky, I went, because I wanted to find out about...
You Googled like the history of Valentine's Day, didn't you?
Yeah. Whatever. I do not like this man. I do not like this man at all. I sound like green eggs and ham. I do not like this man.
It's my favorite book. Biggest transformational book ever.
Ever. Green eggs and ham.
I like them, Sam I am.
Sam I am. I do not like you so much. But, so this is what I found out about Valentine's Day. So, it was originally like this liturgical celebration of one or more early Christian saints named Valentinus, right? Now, Saint Valentine was tortured and imprisoned for performing marriage ceremonies against the commander, Emperor Claudius II. And then it turned into a festival, right? Including a matchmaking festival, and it's a day of fertility and love. Ooh. Be careful out there, please. But the first Valentine's Day card...
So many Scorpios.
There's so many Scorpios. Is that 9 months? Is that, what is that?
2 + 9 is 11.
11? Oh, is that Scorpio? I have no idea. I just know I'm a Leo. I get that. So, the first Valentine's Day card, 1415, Duke of Orleans. He sent it to his wife while he was imprisoned in the Tower of London. And then it got popular in the 17th century. By 1900, print cards. And now about 1 billion cards are sent out. But in the Philippines, they do a popular wedding or renewal of vows. And in South Africa, women pin their names on the sleeves of their love interest, on their shirt sleeves. So you'll put the name on there.
Cute.
I like that. I thought that's kind of cute.
Yeah. Like the penguins and the stones.
Yeah, let me see. Nope, no names pinned. No names. I know you want to check. But it's really interesting, too, because I think it's become such a thing of this is what you need to do, have this romance. And I think it also becomes about communication between men and women. Because all joking aside, like Valentine's Day might mean, like to me, don't bring me flowers. If you spend $60, $70, $80, or even more on flowers, I'm like, are you kidding? That's ridiculous, right? You could take me to Disney. And
hint, if you're watching.
If you're watching, I'll take myself as that. But
so your love language may not be gifts; it might be acts of service or quality.
Well,
time.
I don't think it's $100 flowers or not. I like gifts. I just don't. I just think that to me, I think it is time and it is service, different things like that.
Or like a meat. So the gift has to be meaningful.
It's meaningful. You know what the idea of that this Duke sent his love a card, back then from prison. Wait a minute, not the tower.
The tower,
but probably not the
That's
tower.
Like the most romantic story ever.
Because he had to.
You brought me flowers from the guy selling it on the corner of 14th and 5th, like for $5.
Right, but
Come on.
he had to get it to someone. Then they had to give it to someone, and then they had to get on a horse and ride across the country, right, or wherever it is to give.
Find the person.
Find the person.
Yeah, there was no GPS or like find my friend kind of.
Right, find my friend.
Yeah.
I love that. But we lose that whole sense of romance.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that there's something missing these days. There's no courtship. It's
Courtship.
Let's talk about courtship.
Chivalry, yeah, all that.
Chivalry.
All that. Yeah, a lot of it. I think like a lot of it's been lost. One of my favorite. I laugh by myself when I do this. I'll go out with someone, and it could be a date, or it could be just hanging out with a friend. And so I was raised by four amazing women. My mom and my three sisters. But my sisters, one of them's littler than me, but I'm going to say that she raised me as well. Because I'm a boy.
And plus you'll be in trouble if you
don't. So, hi, love you if you're watching. So I was raised a certain way about how to treat women, in a sense. Which that's a whole, we'll get into that another time. And so I'll go out and we'll get to like a restaurant or anywhere, and there's a chair.
Right.
Pull out the chair, and they'll almost 9 times out of 10, I'll stand there holding a chair, they'll walk around and sit in their own chair.
Yeah.
And I'll sit there and laugh. And sometimes they look at me like I have 3 heads.
Right, like what are you doing?
Yeah, and sometimes they get it and they go, that's so sweet.
Right.
But like,
it's a total shocker.
Yeah, but it's also no big deal. So it's interesting when I hear men and women say chivalry's dead. I'm like, well, you play a part in it too sometimes. If I'm trying to open your door or pull out your chair, I can open my own door, thank you.
Yeah. Open my door.
Independent woman, I can open my door. I don't need no man to open my door.
Here, you want to know what my love language is?
Opening doors.
No. On Sunday night, fill up my gas tank.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. If you can fill up my gas tank so I don't have to stop and get gas, that's simple for me. Because it's one of those things, I hate stopping for gas. And I will literally go down to the point where it's like, I know in my car it says 32 miles and then it goes blank, right? Yes.
Kias do that.
Kias, so 32 miles, right?
Mine too.
And it says stop. And so if I had a guy who knew that I didn't like that, and on a Sunday night, knowing that the week was coming, that he would be like, babe, your gas tank is full. I would be thrilled.
See, I think that's amazing because it speaks into a couple things. One, it's communication.
Yeah.
Right? Knowing your partner. Like if you're going Valentine's Day and you're like, what do I get him or her?
Right.
And you have no idea.
Yeah.
you're in trouble, right? Unless you just started dating.
Right.
But if you've been
we're
with someone,
friends, and I knew unicorns, and I knew the candies and all that stuff
Right.
was something special to you. You know, that's it. And I love Kaboom because to me, I love that Toy Story 4. So that's just taking the time to think about something.
Right. And that's all it takes is the communication.
Yeah.
Right. Of like being an active listener in the relationship. Right.
Yes.
You know, pay attention and notice those things. When the act of service, the love language, another huge. I think it's a huge tool in a relationship to understand how the person hears love or receives it.
Yes.
I was talking to one of my clients the other day. I asked him permission if I could mention it. I remember it was him and his wife. They were having a argument, and I was looking for them. I was like, where are they? So I walked out and I found them, and they're talking, and they're having this. It's just very somber and down, and I'm like, something's up. What's going on? And they're disagreeing about stuff, and he's saying he buys her these things and the necklace, and he spent all this money on jewelry and whatever, and she's like, yeah, well, you don't, we never go anywhere. We don't go on trips and this and that. And I heard it like clear as day. Right. They didn't, which was really interesting. And they're married, and they're happy-ish at that moment.
Happy-ish.
Right?
I love that happy-ish. Super.
Yeah, and then just getting into oh, well, he's saying this and she's saying that, and
right.
This is what she's saying, and then both going, oh, like you're literally speaking in different languages. If your language isn't words of affirmation, I can tell you you're beautiful, I love
right.
you, look great in that jacket, oh, your hair's spinning, oh, look at those eyes, oh, that smile, you're glowing, and you're like, yeah, but you never, right. You say that, but you don't do anything. How many times have I asked you to fill up my gas tank?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So I'm telling you I love you, and you're telling me no, you don't.
Right.
Actions speak louder than words because.
Right. Filling up my gas tank is like, my gosh, that would be my love. If you filled up my gas tank on Valentine's Day, I would be, because I had to get gas this morning because I was down to 32.
I was down to 30 gallons.
And I just went, oh my gosh, I have to get gas. And then this guy almost backed into me and all this stuff. And I was like, I said, gosh, I can't wait for the day a guy comes and fills up my tank.
The funny thing about that I find entertaining is you're in a relationship and you say this to somebody, and the person that you're speaking to, the partner, is like, what's the big deal? Just get gas. So to them, it doesn't make sense. So now we were talking about love before. I'm like, to me, love is an action. Yeah. Right? So now it's well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, that's what makes you feel loved is fill up your gas tank? Yeah. Oh, this chick is crazy. Yeah. But I choose to love you. Right. If that makes, physical touch. If all I have to do is this and you feel loved. Right. Awesome. Cool. Right. Like, this means nothing to me, but hey, I want you to feel loved. I love you. Yeah. Right? So that's that's why when I say about, like, for me, when people say, what is love? Yeah. I'm like, it's a verb. It's an action. Like, it's an action. It's what you do, how you show it, whether it's saying it, choosing it, like, I choose you. Yeah. Well, I think nowadays also there's this, I wrote this down. I said acceptance of little and expectation of lot. And which it's this thing of we almost accept I call it we accept the crumbs. It's like, forget the loaf of bread. You're just taking whatever the little crumbs that are left over. Yeah. Oh, this is good. Thank you so much. Right? Or I always say it this way. It's almost like you're dating someone and you kind of, so that you can really get them, right? You close this eye and turn this way. And if you look at them this way, they don't look half bad. They're good. Yeah. No, they're fine. And then all of a sudden you put some glasses on, or someone else says, what the heck are you doing? Why are you dating this person? That's not a person for you. And you're like, no, they're fine. They're really good. And when I talk to guys, right? So one time I was talking to like 4 of them. Okay, good, because you did that is such a friend judge. That is like, what was that? Okay, so I'm going to never have him on my show again. Okay. So I was talking to these guys, and they were okay. And so I told my friend Taylor Ann, who I just simply adore, I said to Taylor, these guys are okay. And she looked at me and she said, but you're not an okay woman. And when dropped the mic, and literally 1 week later, all 4 of them are gone. And I just realized I'm not dating, talking, interested, not on any kind of dating sites at all. And I'm quite content. I'm really in a good space with that because I don't want to just have the okay, and because I'm not. It's almost like
here I am, here they are, and how do I do that? You know what I mean? It's messed up for me like that. And I think you have to be, like, if you are here at an 8 or 9 or whatever, and then all of a sudden someone else is down here, the okay person, something's missing there, you know? And so I think that's what it is for me. It's just like, I just decided, no, thank you.
Yeah, it's like settling versus compromising.
Yeah.
Right? So like if I say I want a 5'9" curly-haired brunette,
Right.
and I meet a woman that's 5'6", blonde, blue eyes, am I settling or am I compromising?
Right.
And that's where I teach individual get to look at, like, well, is it like a value that is in, like, brunette, curly hair, like, that's a value,
Right.
or is it like, well, I'd like it,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm like, yeah, that's okay, that's fine. But when you start going, well, their lifestyle is this way, or they're not really into family, or they don't do this, they, you know, like,
Your values?
what your values, when you really get to that, then you're really settling, and then it's a recipe for resentment and disaster. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then I think that's interesting too, because I remember when I went to get my car, right? And I was like, I'm getting a white car. I knew for sure I was getting a white car. And then I walked around and I was like, oh, I don't really like that white car too much. That blue car is really cool. Now, inside, it's all the same. But I realized that sometimes the package might not look the way you think it's going to look, but the insides. So the inside of the car is, you got it?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what we're talking about here.
Well, you're such a dingbat.
Sorry.
The insides are the same. Your 5'9" curly hair might be the blue car, and
Oh,
you're
that package.
5'7". You're such a dingbat. Oh my gosh!
Valentine's Day.
I know guys are
Remember?
like, yeah, this is the interesting thing about this. With women, I can tell them something really weird, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I get that completely. That women's intuition." Guys are like,
No, I got it. I totally got it. I just felt like taking it in a completely different direction. 2 roads diverged in the wood. I took the road less traveled by. That has made all the difference.
But I think that that's really, you know, it's such interesting because I think that you have some people who have a list.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I want them to have this job, make this much money, live here, drive this car, look this way, you know? And then the ideal guy or girl comes through who is none of the things, or maybe a few of those things. But it's almost superficial, some of the things you're looking for. Because to me, what's important, well, one of the things that's really important to me is Disney. I have to be honest, it's probably my top 5. Maybe 6, top 6. I'll say top 10. Stop looking at me that way.
I'm waiting for the.
Gosh, I don't like you.
I love Disney. What are you talking
I
about?
love Disney, and sometimes I get, you know, Disney is for kids. I'm like, then you've never been with me. I'm still a kid at Disney, you know, the ears and all that
And you're an
stuff.
old man. Keep walking. Thanks.
Oh man, right. Do I have to get him a wheelchair or something, like to roll him around in if I go to Disney? But that's something that's angry. That's something that's important to me, but also it is important to me with family. It is important to me, like me helping others, being in service is super important to me. One of the guys who I was talking to, he was like, wow, you're really busy. You do a lot of stuff. And don't you ever stop? And I do. My friends always tell me, like, do you ever stop? I have 2 jobs. I'm volunteering at church. I volunteer in a teen program. And then I am this woman. So I'm busy and I still make time for my friends, my family, things that are really important to me. So there are certain things but I think the list will get us in trouble every time.
Oh yeah.
Every time.
I mean, depending how, and this is what I think, depending how superficial the stuff is, right? I want to say the more superficial something is, the more of a void it's filling. Right? Versus the values, the deep core, like, values that you're looking for.
I love this. Elizabeth Williams says, Disney, know your priorities.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so awesome. I love that.
You know, like that, and that could be like the value of it is what is like joy, fun, childlike wonder. You know, like.
And I love that because I think that's a perfect way to say it. Disney is a replication of. It really is. It's an actual place of everything that I love, and that childlike wonder, the joy.
Right.
And when I'm there. Oh my gosh, I'm like the happiest.
As you just lit up, as if.
I am the happiest person ever, right? Or Halloween Horror Nights. Like, I love being scared.
Yeah.
So, I love that. And I love introducing people to Halloween Horror
I hate
Nights.
Halloween Horror Nights. I hate being scared.
It's so much fun.
But I go all the time anyways.
It's so much, and I hate being scared, and I love being scared.
Yeah, it's torturous for me. It's fun at the same time.
Yeah, but you know what? That's the thing that's important. So you're a guy. Whatever, you're a guy. Okay, so all right. So guys are really visual. Mm-hmm. So your list has to be like you said. You said this 5'9" curly hair. You know.
So like I always say, like I know I need to be attracted to the person.
Yes.
And I've said many times, someone's attractive, I'm not attracted.
Uh-huh.
And I find like I've found the distinction. In my past, obviously in my past, because in my future I can't really talk about. In my past, the couple girls that stand out that I really liked, they didn't fit the
mold,
the 5'9", Maxim model, Instagram model, Facebook model person, like that. That's like, wow, they were cute, they were
right.
But I found them beautiful. Like it was them as a whole, not the meat suit. Right.
The meat suit.
Yeah, the meat
suit. Ooh, I like that.
Right, the advertising. Yeah.
But see, I know you've grown. We've known each other for a few years, and I know because
it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a journey.
It's been a journey. And I think that this is what's really important also. There's a lot of times that we almost kind of, because of things that you've done or people that you've dated, there comes to be almost this is who you really are. Mm-hmm. There's this label written in stone almost. Yep. And I think what happens is that you don't even get an opportunity to show this other side of you.
No, because you're being filtered through pre-existing beliefs. Like so we take in all this information. So it's fun. It's a fun fact. So when someone says ground yourself, feel your feet on the floor, feel your butt in the chair, feel the air conditioning on your skin, feel your jacket. Now you're present to those things.
Right.
But we're getting around 11 million bits of information all at once. Sounds outside, you're noticing there's 11 million. We can only really comprehend about 126 bits, plus or minus like 7 chunks of it.
And men probably only comprehend like 27. I was giving you a little bit more than that.
Thank you. Yeah. So.
Ouch.
So what we do with how our mind functions is we take in all this data, these information, and we generalize, we distort, and we delete things.
Right.
That's why sometimes you think about a memory or something, and you're like, I can't remember that one thing.
Yeah.
Or it's different than how you thought it was. So you do that, and so what that does is it creates all the way that you remember stuff.
Right.
Your internal representations, your state of being, all that kind of stuff, your emotions, and that is what turns into your behavior.
Yeah.
Right? So if I have a memory of you, or you have a memory of me, or an experience, let's say, all that happens, it creates now you have an internal representation of that person in here, which is now how I'm going to behave towards them. So it's like, no matter what I do, if you've got that filter, those glasses, you're like, bam.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to see them forever.
Yeah, because how many people see you as, this good-looking guy, but dating a lot of people and...
I love that I get to dating a lot of people.
Yes.
I get that.
Well, it's so funny because I know, this is what makes me laugh because I know him. And when you say some of the stuff, when we have great lunches and everything, and we eat and drink and we have fun.
We go to Ruby Tuesdays like old couples.
Okay, we went to Ruby Tuesdays. It was close to me, right? So here's the thing. He's like, oh, we're going to Ruby Tuesdays like an old couple. But what made me laugh here, what really made me laugh is afterwards he was like, this was kind of good.
It was really good, actually. That salad bar was by. I was like, salad bar? I'm like,
I know. He's like, look at all the old people. We're 72 and all of this. And it turned out to be a really, really good time, right? And that's a great part because here's the thing about it, right? How often do you make up what you think of someone or someplace, and then when you take it in, you're like, oh, it's not that bad at all.
No, it was great.
Yeah.
I'm totally taking someone on a date to Ruby Tuesdays.
You should.
Just to see just to see what.
Is it terrible to tell if I told you they have coupons too?
Oh my god! I want to go.
Please don't ever do a coupon on the
I want to
date.
go clubbing to South Beach and like people pick up like a really attractive person there,
Right.
and then take her to Ruby's
Take a Ruby's Tuesday with a coupon. With a coupon. But you know what I say? I would
Just
say
fun.
this is this. This is a man who takes care of his money.
See that? But now we're going back into perspective.
I know, it's
now we're going
perspective. It's totally
Yeah,
perspective.
absolutely.
But I think that
I like it.
Yeah, but I think that this is really important because I think what happens is that not only we have this representation in our mind, but then here we go. This is the one that I dated here. This is the one that I dated here. This is the one that I dated. So here comes this new guy or this new girl coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But we take all these people that we've dated and then we put all these labels on them. And then we go with the I'm trusting and oh, you should have known. You should have known. We should have a whole show about you should have known. Because I don't know how I should have known anything.
Crystal ball.
It is a crystal ball,
I should
right?
have known that I should fill up your gas on Sundays because you've never told me that.
Right, but I should know.
Should have just known that that's what men are supposed to do is fill up
Right.
women's gas.
And I should have known that you like steak and baked potatoes, and instead I made you this cheese enchilada.
What? No, I like when you go, great, good job. I like how you think on the fly. That's great. Cheese enchilada. All right, yeah.
Yes, I do think on the fly. I'm a woman, of course.
That's amazing. I was like, where's she going? Cheese enchilada.
Yeah, but that's a big thing about you should have known. But I think that you should have knowns are always based sometimes on this past thing. You will never know that I want my gas tank filled up unless I tell you.
They're totally based on beliefs and of their own social norms.
Right.
Right. You know, like posting pictures on Instagram or Facebook as a couple.
Ugh.
You know, like, well, of course that we take all these pictures. Like, of course you should know that I want to. You know, you see my Instagram. I post a lot of pictures. You should know that I like to. But until you say it,
Right.
you know.
Well, so that means that you have to talk. Like we have to sit down and
Have words. I like you to post pictures.
Oh my
and
God.
tag me.
or it could be like do you like me? I like you.
Check one.
Check.
Yes, no, maybe.
So, yeah. Would you like pictures posted? But I think that that's really important because I don't think that there's a lot of communication. I think there's text message, which has taken over communication. Yeah. And there's Instagram, Facebook. I was at Federico's place the other day, the place he's renting out to someone, and he was painting and cleaning, and we were doing a pre-video. And here, it looked really great. But if you looked all the way around here, it looked like Hot Mess City because you were painting and doing everything. That's what Instagram is to me. That's what social media is to me. It's like, it's the, let's put on the, here it is. Let's smile. And then it's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, I can't believe you smiled like that.
Right.
You didn't, yeah. And I think that that's the part that's missing. And I think that if when...
Next time, tell me before I have to take a fucking
I
picture.
know.
Like, I wasn't even ready.
I wasn't ready to take a picture. Oh my gosh. My hair. And then my favorite is when they take the picture. My best friend takes the picture and she blows it up really big, right? And she goes, look, I have like, oh my gosh, I look horrible. She's the most beautiful girl and sweet, funny, gorgeous, right? And she blows her picture up that big to say, look at me. Mm-hmm. What? Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, this is a cute picture of me. Oh, you love me so much. But I think that that's, that's one of the things.
So a little bit about me. I don't know if you know this or I'm gonna go with it.
Oh, I'm so excited. Dun, dun, dun.
When I was 18, I used to bartend. I throw bottles and blow fire.
Oh, you do the fire thing, yes.
And I blew fire. Where I learned to bartend was a Chippendale. I worked at it.
He worked at a Chippendale.
When I was in high school.
In high school?
I think I was 17 and a half, 18.
Okay.
I think I was 18.
Almost legal.
Yeah, almost legal. Whatever. That's where I learned how to bartend. And from what you said about your friend that she's gorgeous and this,
right.
I remember my manager telling me, and he was like, he had great looking guy. He had like long wavy hair, like 80s, like what's his name? Not Michael Bolton. Michael Bolton.
No, well, Bolton had.
What's the one I'm thinking of?
I don't know who you're talking about, but some long 80s.
The one I used to sing When a Man Loves a Woman.
Oh, that was Bolton.
That was Bolton. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did have the long way.
Yeah.
Whatever, it looks like him, and he says to me, "Show me an attractive person, I'll show you an insecure person."
Mm.
And every time something like that happens, that always that line just jumps in my head, and I'm like, because it's almost like he was saying, we were talking about it, because I remember being a kid, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense, right? That didn't make any sense to me at 17 or 18. And he was talking about the work that it takes. He's like, the image that you're portraying, and then from all the work that I've been doing, the past couple of years, seeing that, like now, because now social media is another outlet of showing the world, who am I?
Right.
Like, there's a shirt that I want to get that I always say I want to get, and I don't get it. I wish your life was really as interesting as you make it seem on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a perfect shirt, and I think that that's so important, because here's the thing. Like, yes, I want to take and put nice pictures out, but there's other stuff that's going on, and I think that if we could treat social media as our lives, like really what's going on, the good, the bad, the ugly, and not this, I'm sipping a cup of tea with my blanket all curled up on this beautiful couch, and everything is great, and then I have this wonderful boyfriend and all that, and I think that we end up losing something in that, and then we lose in the communication also, because we have relationships for social.
Yep.
At times, and that's why I think that sometimes we forget, like, having that conversation, sharing what's important, being open about it. And I think the other part is really important is this. It is super, super important also, women. I'm going to say this to you. If you're dating, okay, and I'm going to say this. I don't care who you're dating, man, woman, whatever it is, whatever. Turtle, sure. Turtle, whatever you're doing, take the time to honor them. Find out what they like. Find out the same way that you want to be treated. And I think that's what it comes down to. I want to treat you with respect and kindness. I want to remember the things that make you smile. And here's the thing also, I could never be everything to you. That I hear some people say, like, he hurt my feelings, or she hurt my feelings, or she did this, or he did that. I can never be all of the stuff to you. So be happy and grounded within yourself. Mm-hmm. Doing that. And then you have that other person, because that's what you're attracting also. But treating that. And I think a lot of times women are like, well, you should do this, right? The shouldas, right? But I think it's so important that we treat men. Like, if I was dating you, I would want to know what you like, what you don't like. I would want to know that if you're painting until 3 a.m, that I might need to throw on some messy clothes and come and help you paint. It's those kind of things.
Right. Yeah. It's that, the knowing. I think there's been I think a lot of people know there's been this huge, like, spiritual shift going on, lately, right? And there's been a big shift, I think, in the masculine feminine paradigm, where men have been, have moved away from, like, the and able to
caveman, I think.
That's what is manly is, I guess. So I wore a blue shirt because it's to represent boys. That's what it's. Yeah.
I did. Well, I wore pink just because of more of Valentine's Day. But it's kind of cute that we did this.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Fire nice.
He said, she said, pink and blue. This is what we're going to start to do. Okay, go ahead. Whatever you were saying.
So
we should never do this show because we just have fun talking like crazy.
People are like,
what are they talking about?
So actually, a friend of mine, is it Eddie? Yes, my friend Eddie, who's watching on LA, one of my good acting buddies. He posted a link to an article about men and giving each other affection and hugs and, like, saying I love you and bro. And
I saw that article. Yes.
And it's great, and it's really interesting. I love in the transformational work and in the coaching world and all this, seeing the big strong guy. Where, like, I'm 6'2", and seeing guys that are like my height or bigger, and they're just like, they just have that, like, mean mug, like I'm just all man kind of thing, right? And then breaking through the layers and revealing that, like, 5-year-old little boy, and they are like the biggest teddy bears, and they're loving, and it's amazing, and it's amazing. I think, like, that shift of, like, the men now being able to be sensual and sensitive and loving, and so what you're saying about the women, like, listening to them too, like, I think there's been this whole dynamic change where you can still go out and hunt and fight bears and chop down trees, and you can go out and eat gelato with your girlfriend, and ride bikes, or get mani pedis.
Oh my gosh, I need a pedi so bad.
You know, and not have that. Well, you might still get some kind of ridicule, but it's not that.
Yeah.
It's not what it was. Kind of like.
Well, I think that even with that going on, I think that my biggest concern right now is this whole, like, as I'm single and when I go online to do dating, it is the scariest thing.
I love online dating.
Online dating, you know, if I could do a dating app, I would do an old school video. I want to post a video, like, I want you to come to my dating app and I want you to post your video of like, hey, like, if you were to do a video of, like, I would be like, hi, I'm Barbara, I like da-da-da-da. But instead of, it's almost like I was watching a movie and they said it's the checkbox. I like this. They're like, choose from these 27 things what you like. So that someone else can say, oh, yes. But I think what happens is that there's this whole ghosting. There's this whole thing of oh, I see you and I'm ready. I've never seen guys go so heavy in and then disappear.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing I think that's lost in internet dating is, well, two things. One is balls. Balls are lost.
Meaning what?
Like the balls it takes to walk up to somebody and face them and be like,
That courage.
yeah, and be like, hi, can I buy you a drink or a car or a house or something? You know, what's your name?
Sure.
Where are you from? You know, are you single or is there a boyfriend in here that's about to punch me in the face for speaking to you?
Right.
You know, like just that. You know, am I worthy enough of your time, or, you know, am I good enough for you? That fear, that.
Well, because we get to hide on
Right.
digital.
So there's that. There's
We totally hide.
Hi.
Oh, you know what?
Hi,
Or this.
Copy paste.
I am this, and like I look at catfish or something, and then it blows my mind on like a catfish show because it's like, well, I met this person 4 years ago online, but we've never met in person.
When I was younger, I spoke to somebody, I think, for like a year and a half online.
A year and a half and never met.
The other thing on the same, no, we ended up just being like pen pals, but
Sure.
I remember thinking, I'm like, I wonder who this person is. Like I was at one point, and finally at one point, I was like, what if it's a man? What if it's like an old man?
What if it's an old man who, right? So I think that's the thing about it. This is another way we hide. You know, we have a whole society of people that are so busy looking at their phones that they don't see people.
No, there's that my mom used to say, the tool that was created to connect us has us now being disconnected from each other. We're connected, but now we're disconnected. Right. And it's really, it's interesting. And sometimes if you get aware, walk around and just count people on their phone.
Oh, yeah.
Count people together that are on their phone. Notice yourself or your friends.
Yes.
How often, you know, your phone rings or something.
Yeah.
Or there's that automatic, I need to check my phone. Like psychologists are saying there's becoming not a disorder, an addiction. Like there's an addiction to these things where like,
You have to. There's a girl in England. She walked out of school. She had a headset on and her phone like this, and she walked in front of a double-decker bus.
Oh yeah, people walked off cliffs.
Yes. Well, they did.
How do you miss a cliff?
A cliff. Well, how about this? Taking a selfie on the cliff because we got to show that we're having an adventure, and then we both fall and die, which is mind blowing. It throws me off with all of this.
Yeah, it threw them off too.
Yeah, it throws them.
Sorry.
That's so crazy.
Sorry.
You just said that. But
Like, here you go.
that was like really. So
State change.
So tell me, what do you think is really important with communication then?
What?
What do you think is
Listening.
important?
Listening would be.
Oh, is that when you're being a smart ass?
Yeah,
Gosh,
listening.
I hate you so much.
Listening would be one of them. Listening would be one, and being open to being wrong, right? Like, so what I was talking about earlier about your filters and everything. You have a filter, and you think this is what they meant, especially like in online. Like, there's no tonality, there's no inflection, there's no anything. Communication, like 7% of communication is words, is actual words, right? Everything else, body language, feeling, energy, all that kind of stuff. So when you're in a relationship with someone or you're meeting someone, what you hear, what you think, like notice it and say, like, is this true? Before you go, well, I know that because you wore a red jacket, you were trying to no, because my eyes don't look good with red, so I know that you're trying to make me look bad so you can look better because you wear red.
Wow.
Right, yeah.
But it's true. But it's so
it's
true.
absolutely true.
So how in the world do you text date? Because that's the thing about it. It's this way. I always say this. I'm like, did you really read what they said? And, well, yeah. They said it. They said, I was going to go and do this. And what they meant was, I'm like, maybe they just meant
maybe I was going to do this.
I was just going to go do that.
I was talking to one of my clients, and she was like a friend too. So we were speaking about her issues with her husband. They were getting separated, and she tells me like this story. And at first, I was in the story, I was like, wow, that's,
wow, yeah.
Like, I'm sorry to hear that, right? And I'd say it was a couple months later, we're having a conversation on the phone, and she was talking about moving, and she was looking at houses, and and they have kids together, so she was in communication. And she said this one thing. Oh, she goes, he was like, oh, are you thinking of she was talking to houses in another state. It was Arizona. And he was like, oh, you thinking of moving? And she was like, I'd love to. If I could pack up the kids and move over here, I would. She's like, would you come? And he's like, absolutely. Like, would you follow? And he's like, absolutely. And that's when I heard it. I was like, what if you're wrong about your perspective? And then I went through the story again, that she's like, he did this and he did this and he did this because of this. And I was like, well, what he said, maybe, what if he was telling the truth, what he said? Maybe he really was like, I did this because you wanted it.
Right.
I thought you wanted it.
Right.
Then what?
Because how many people are getting divorced or separated based on messages, based on our own interpretations?
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you, I believe we fight via text message, which is the worst thing you could ever do. Is to stop fighting through the phone.
Have you ever been with someone who's fighting through the phone? They're like,
oh, they're like, chicken. And I'm surprised their phone is not breaking because they're like,
all their emotions going into their
everything. Everything is so intense. It is. It's that way. And so stop fighting through the phone. It's better to have, because what happens is when you
come see someone first.
Yeah. But you know what? And then there's a lot of people who won't. They won't pick up the phone. They won't talk on the phone.
Oh yeah, they're like,
oh, my favorite is this. I'm not into phone. Like, I'm not into really talking. You're not into talking? That's what I'm wondering. Do I need to learn sign language, which I'm okay? But you're in a job. You're at a restaurant. There is always communication. So for all of a sudden, and something so major as a relationship, for you not to be into talking is the scariest thing I could think of. But we seem to accept that. And, the whole thing is via text. Everything is via text. And then we everything we're doing then really is talking to ourselves, because we leave it our own interpretation. And not only our own interpretation, but then what we're going to do is then we bring in all the garbage that I call it the U-Haul truck, right?
Mm-hmm. Your baggage. All the
baggage that you bring in from every past relationship is there. And that's like a recipe for disaster.
Oh, absolutely is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you bring in your past, you're using those filters again.
Yes.
And you're comparing. So you're really like Barry would say, is like you're driving, looking at the rearview mirror. You're going this way, looking behind you. You're in the boat, going that way, but you're looking.
And that is nothing but a crash waiting to happen.
Yeah, because you'll do this. We'll be here and be like, oh shit, she got me a unicorn. My ex got me a unicorn, and you know what that means? When girls get you unicorns, that means that
they're gonna break up with you.
They're gonna break up with you and steal your money and sleep with your brother. I don't have any brothers, but I'll invent one. Right? And because of that, this is a fact. Why? Because it happened to me before.
Yeah.
And you'll go in it. This is what happened. People say, like, my favorite, we were like, oh, I'll never date a Gemini again. Because all Geminis are exactly the same on the entire planet in the history of the world.
Yes.
Ever. Because of that one person.
Ever. So what is your biggest mistake in a relationship?
Dating.
Did you say dating?
Dating them.
Dating them.
No.
Oh my gosh.
My biggest mistake in a relationship. To be honest, which I don't want to be. To be honest,
we like honesty.
Biggest mistake in all of my relationships have been settling, and so like in our work in transformation and the coaching is like I don't have the power to hurt your feelings, right? Mm-hmm. Like you say, like she hurt me.
Right.
I don't have. You are such a powerful divine goddess, as am I, God.
Right. I got it. Yeah.
That I can't actually hurt you. So coming from that space, I held these women small by we started dating or whatever we met, and I was kind of like, like it's not all there. oh crap, but she really likes me. I don't want to hurt her feelings. How do I let her down easy?
And then how many times have you stayed in a relationship?
And then I stayed. And it's not fair to them.
Yeah.
It wasn't fair to them. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like, oh, well, like, pobrecita, like, I'll date her because, like, she'll never have it. And it kind of, like, I love them all. They're like amazing with, like, great, like, they were great, you know. And I noticed at points there was like, this isn't my 10. I'm not her, which makes me not her
10.
Right.
And that's the thing. He's not saying that he's here and he's so above.
No.
But I agree with that because I can tell you, I've dated someone, and this is where I did the turn, close eye, look at them that way, and tried to make them fit into something to have someone. I'd rather be alone. I've gotten to the point that I get it. I'd rather be alone than just to settle. I really do. What's your biggest lesson in a relationship?
I wish I had these questions before I got here. I would have prepared something really.
That's why we do it this way.
I noticed. My biggest lesson one is obviously don't settle.
Uh-huh.
I want to say my biggest lesson, especially in my past 2 relationships, is I'm enough. Like, I realize how codependent I get, how needy, which needy I've changed my definition to when someone calls you needy, that means that they don't have the capacity of giving as much as the other person wants. Mm-hmm. So me saying you're needy just means like I just can't give you that much attention.
Right.
So I take change for me. So that I've noticed how I allow you to saying you complete me.
Yeah.
Sounds beautiful.
It sounds beautiful.
That's great.
Great on movies.
Great
in movies.
But what is it saying?
Right. What is it saying? Right. Exactly. Right. I'm reading what people are saying. Oh, yes. Donnell is saying this is such an important conversation. It is so important for each person's sovereignty and dignity, which I think is so important to have that, because I think that this is the one thing is that I know for me, I have settled. And the thing about it is that, like, it's never, the guys were great and they're nice and everything, but they're just not mine. It's just not the one for me. And this is the thing. While I'm working on me, while I am growing, while I am really stepping into the woman that I am, I have to tell you, like, I would date me.
Right.
I would date me. I wouldn't have dated me in the past.
Oh,
Ooh, Lordy, I would have said no. I would never have dated me in the past.
Oh, yeah.
And now I would say that, yes, I would date me. And that's a huge thing. And I think because a lot of times if we look at ourselves, we'll be like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, because if you have that, you're expressing it. If I'm going, well, I suck at this and I suck at that and I suck at that and I don't have this and I don't have that. Like, that's the energy that I am. Not only that, like people say, like the energy you put out, that's the energy that I am.
Correct.
So I'm going to attract that energy.
Yeah. He's killing the unicorn. I know the clip.
That's what I'm going to attract. So like I wouldn't date me, you know. That's what I was saying about the validation. Like, that was my lesson of no matter what, you don't validate me.
Right.
You know?
And you're an awesome guy.
So.
But you know what? I'm happy to say that. Like, from the first time I met you, I knew you were an awesome guy. And from all the times that we spent together and training in Vegas and being able to really spend time with you, you're a really, really with Donnell, right? You're a really great guy. And I think I'm happy that you're starting to see that, and that you're starting to put that out there for others to see. You know. So if you could tell women one thing, what would it be? I know you're like.
My name's Federico. I'm 37. I'm Taurus. I'm single. I like long walks on shore beaches. Is that the one thing? No. Okay.
This is my dating app. See his video. There it is. There it is.
This is my Bumble and my no. They don't have. There's no usernames on these things, are there?
I don't know.
Oh wait, no. I used to be on one called
Hot Mess on a Stick. I swear to you.
Plenty of Fish. I was on Plenty of Fish.
Oh yes.
My screen name was Sarcastic Prick.
Oh, so many women. I wouldn't even.
It was so great. I think that's where I had the best profile ever. It was really funny. I impressed myself. It was really funny. It's a really funny profile.
So, if you would tell women one thing besides the long walks on the beach, what would it be?
Don't settle.
Yeah.
You are a queen. You are a goddess, and you deserve to have a god or a king. And find a man that treats you like a king.
A queen, right.
Find a man that treats you like a queen, and then in return treat him like a king.
Yeah.
Lately I think there's been a lot of
treat me like a queen.
Yeah,
I'm a queen. I'm an independent woman.
Which,
treat me like this. This is how it's going to be.
Which plays into the whole like chivalry,
right. Which
all
is
that stuff.
Yeah, self-love. You know, Cynthia said self-love, and I think that is really, really important. Like self-love is super important. I would say this: self-love and then love of others, because I feel that sometimes we get into that, and then we're like, I'm a queen, and you're going to treat me like a queen. But if I'm a queen and I'm really in that place, then when I attract my king, like I want to let you know you're my king.
Well, that's now you're going to beingness of a queen.
Yes.
Like if you going, I'm a queen, you better recognize treat me like a queen. No, you're not a queen. Sorry.
I should get my wig I wore in 70s day. I would be like, I'm a queen.
But would the queen, if you think of like Queen Elizabeth or something, like does she do that? No.
No. Right.
She's like, I am queen, and because of who I am, you will treat me that way because you see, right? Like,
right.
You have a certain presence.
Right.
I'm not just going to treat you like a hoe because you don't exude that, right? So you
I'm gonna treat you like a hoe.
Yeah.
You're
okay. Want to have a couple shots of tequila?
Oh my god!
Like you don't
such a deep
you don't like. But you know what I'm saying. So.
But no, I get what you're saying.
You have to be the queen.
You have to, and that's why I said I wouldn't. In the past, my dating, like I wouldn't have dated me. Now, who I am, what I bring to the table, it's totally different. So tell me this: what are you really looking for then in a relationship?
Okay, so this is a whole other conversation. Can I rebuttal with a question? So, what's the difference in an intimate relationship and a friendship?
But see, I think friendships can be intimate also. Mm-hmm. So I would say it this way.
Romantic, I'm sorry. What's the difference in a romantic relationship and a friendship?
Okay, well, because I think what happens with it is, to me, a friendship, like we have a friendship, you know, I can call you up, we can share things, all that. But when it comes to that intimacy, and remember intimacy, which is, I just said it, into me, you see, then it's really starting to talk about that next level. And I think what it is it's, what I love about being in relationships is there's something to me about honoring the man that I'm with, and honoring the things that he likes. And for me, so I'll answer my own question. If I was looking for a relationship, and what I'm looking for, right, is funny, because that's so important to me. I like to laugh, right? And I get it within a friendship, so I think it's important to have that friendship level also. But I also, trust me, because like, I'm not surprised that I might hop on a plane and go to Paris and say, hey, I'm going away for 5 days. So I want to have that trust. But I also want to have, I don't want to take life so serious, because there's no guarantee on it. So I want to be able to, like, we're sitting on this porch here, and there's the golf course here, and it's a beautiful day, and we're sitting here and just talking and BSing and everything and having a good time. But I want to do things. I want to go places and have fun. But I think when it really comes down to it, I think the simplest thing for me is the communication of really, like, you know me, asking me the questions, asking me the tough questions, or finding out about me, and really learning who I am, and, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and that you're okay with it. Because there's going to be good, bad, and ugly. There's going to be days when you're going to be like, you are a psycho, but I still love you. Oh yeah, that. And I think that that's important, because we think we're supposed to get with someone and it's supposed to be perfect. And last time I checked, for me, only one person walked on the earth who was perfect, and that's JC. And until he comes back, I don't see anybody else.
Touche.
You know, I just don't. So I know you're going to make mistakes. I know you're going to screw up. I know you're going to leave your towel on the bathroom floor. You know what my worst pet peeve is? When someone gets out of the shower and they step on the mat. I know the mat is there to get wet.
This is such a funny I had this conversation with Heather Horning.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
I hate having the wet mats. Is that terrible? I can't stand. You know, when I step out of the shower,
so funny.
I put my towel down to step on my towel.
That's so funny. I hate it when people use things for the purpose that they're used.
No, I just can't stand a wet mat. So I know you're going to step on the mat and make it wet, and then I'm going to go in the shower. And
That's what it's designed for.
I can't stand it. It's horrible. I know it's a wet mat, but that's disgusting.
I hope Heather Horning's watching this, because we were in a training and she mentioned that she was talking about her relationship. She's like, that her and her partner, they both do that. So I ended up doing that. I tried it. I would like wipe my feet in the shower, and then I told Heather, I'm like, now every time that I take a shower, I think about you. So now I'm gonna be thinking about you and Heather Horning every time I shower, and I want to wipe my feet before I get out of the shower.
Okay, so as we wrap up, I always ask people a few of the same questions, right? How do you start your day?
I wake up.
Okay, see, men are so simple. I have women here that I wake up and I meditate and I pray and I do all this, and you're like, I wake up. I love men.
It's like turning on TV. It's like on.
That's just the best. What is the one thing you do to live your life with purpose?
Oh, shit. Do I do anything with purpose?
Everything. Don't even try it. Not everything, but...
I used to say this in college. People would be like, oh, well, so what do you want to be? Right? They're like, what are you studying? And I was like, I'm a smile generator. And I used to say that. I used to be my catchphrase all the time. And either you would smile or they would give me the face like, what? And then I like to make people smile. Whatever. So I always try and make it a point to compliment someone, say something nice, draw out a smile. I noticed the other day, I was going to Walgreens, and there's a guy there's a kid, I was a kid, he was like probably like late teens, early 20s, just laying in the bushes. Right? And I wasn't sure if he was homeless or what he was doing. And I wanted to say something, and something told me not to. Mm-hmm. It was really comfortable there. Yeah, but I really wanted. That was one of those ones that I look back and I'm like, oh man, I really should have said something to.
Yeah, and person. I would say this, and I'd say this when you're looking at someone who's homeless or someone like that. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just look them in the eyes. Is that we hand money. So let's say if you hand someone a $5 bill or $1 or something like that, you do this, right? But when you take the time to look them in the eyes and say, I see you, because I always say by the grace of God, there goes I. Because any of us could be in that situation, you know?
One of my biggest, just humbling moments, I was with my ex-girlfriend. We were in South Beach, and she's a nurse, and we went to, I don't know if we went to the club, but I think we went to the club, and we got into a fight. This was one of my big lessons of how needy I am, or codependent, right. I need you to validate me kind of thing. So I'm just pissed, right? I'm like, we got into an argument, it was over a year ago, and we're walking back to the car, and there's a homeless woman sitting in front of, I think it was Dunkin' Donuts. And I'm like, ataka, right? I'm all like, let's go, whatever. And, all right, it was my sister and Sharon. And I think it was my friend Sharon's birthday. And we're walking to the car, and so she stops to talk to her. Uh-huh. And I was like, what the can we go? And I'm just like, I know she's doing this on purpose. She's doing this, she's talking just to piss me off, because I want to. And she sits there and she talks to her, and this lady's sitting on the floor and she's talking, and she's saying her medical, I don't know what, her card, and she said, and at some point, it finally just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, she's just being genuine and talking to a human being.
Yeah.
And my level of all the stuff that I was angry about just went whoosh. And I remember the thought that went through my mind was I do not deserve this woman.
Yeah. So there's a new thing that I started adding. With Kobe Bryant's death, okay, and the 8 other people, including his daughter that died on there. LeBron James he says, in the last 3 years of his life, I have never seen, he lived, he was the happiest. What does your 3 years look like? And it could be 3, 33, 63. But if you were to say, these are the 3 years, what does that look like for you? What is it that you want to create? What is it that you want to do? What difference do you want to make?
So my 3 years would be, one is I want to design either the transformational program or my own with NLP and hypnosis and that kind of stuff for kids in college. I want to be the Tony Robbins of college kids. My belief. That's what I wrote my thesis on.
And I swear, if you don't do this, I'm going to punch you in the eye, because this is something he's been talking about for so long. It is so incredibly important for you to do this. Our college kids are literally they are dying. They are dying because they go away. They have all this stuff on them. This is your responsibility. So I know I got into a little preachy thing, but because I love you so much and I know what you're capable of doing, I think it's so important for you to do this. I really do. Well, we're coming to an end, and I always say this, like, my message is empowered women impact the world. They impact themselves, their family, their community, and ultimately they impact the world. If you were to have your motto, what is it?
Shit.
And it doesn't have to be all like
Yeah, I don't.
Snazzy Sue or whatever. It just has to be.
If I had my motto, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
I love that. So, everyone, this is it. This is the. I know he survived. He's such a baby. He makes me laugh so much to say that. Oh, your sister's watching.
Hi.
Jen, hi. So, and now he's eating his candy because he's like a big baby.
Make it rain.
I'm going to kill him. Now he has to clean up candy, right? So, I am Barbara Hort. And I am this woman. And if you want to be on the show, if you have a message to share, if it's something that you really believe in, please reach out to me at barbara@iamthiswoman.com or send me a message here. And you're so silly. Any last minute parting words? But because you've already told you like walks on the beach and all that stuff. Anything else?
I said tag me in the video so people can watch.
I tagged him in the video so everyone can watch. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
The only thing I'm going to say, I want to acknowledge you for this show that you do for women. I'm a firm believer in the rise of the feminine, which again, like I'm speaking to, I think, my opinion. Oh my God.
We love you too, Trish.
I gotta name you. I think that when the feminine gets her divinity, gets her power, the nurturer, then we'll have peace on the planet. Because without y'all to bring the love and the nurturing side, us men, we're just gonna keep shooting each other and blowing shit up and setting shit on fire.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm going to tell you, this is what I'm doing this for. This is my purpose. This is my belief. This is what I'm up to. And this is where I won't quit. And this is why I also bring on amazing, amazing people like this. And you'll see Federico again. Because we have a lot of fun here, and we really went over time, but it was awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a clock there because sometimes we start talking and then we're having a good time and all that.
Trainer,
Yeah, right, a clock. But I think that that's what's so important is that living your dream, going for your purpose. And I would say this, if this was my last 3 years, I will make sure that women are heard. I will make sure that men who support women are heard. Stay tuned. There's going to be so much more coming. I am this woman as far as workshops and different things because I think it's so important for women to know that. So thank you for acknowledging it. Thank you for being a guest. And I am Barbara Hort, and I am this woman.
I am Federico, and I'm not this woman.
But you're this man.
And this is... We got to name...
Name him? Her? Him. I think he's a him. What's his name? Pinky Tuscadero. No.
Papadopoulos.
Papadopoulos. And this is
unicorn.
This is
I am this unicorn.
And this is Papadopoulos saying, I am this. And thank you so much. We had a call come through. Thank you so much. We love you. Mwah. Take care. Bye.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Bye.
Protection.